right? They are ready right now. Is KhaiusE versus BoonnooB, and is Lucian Bannerman against the Spooky Karma.
Spooky.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Spooky Karma is not banned. So I probably guess that
I guess
the freeze control is banned.
Yeah, if Spooky is not a banned, that means it's Ash already. Cause KhaiusE has a lot of tempo based decks, so he can't afford to let the Ash pass by.
Yeah, exactly, right. And coming with the Aristocrat on turn 1, and KhaiusE actually do not have a turn 1 play. And based on his hand, he only has two 5 drops. It's not exactly what you want to see for a Bannerman deck.
Yeah, he's off to a pretty weak start.
And especially, but at least he has the Lucian off. If he has a top deck is Senna over here, it would be perfect, having the Kappa duo on the board. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure.
Even if say that he just working off the hand that he has, right? He has enough time to stall until he gets the cards he needs. Like until turn 5, Great Horn, these kind of things. Then I guess that's where his game really starts. With the current hand lah. Oh shit!
And with the Bannerman on the top, and yeah, it's probably a Bright Steel Protector over here.
Yep, no reason not to.
Yep, and with 5 mana open for Boon, he actually has Grasp open available.
Grasp?
Yeah. So, protecting the Lucian over here might be the right call.
Would have been a good player lah. Just because he used Valfeast doesn't mean that Grass is not in his hand. He's just maybe using it for when Lucian is
exactly
weak.
And then with the 3/1 Bright Steel Protector, attacking with the Spider will be more comfortable, having a more valuable trade over here.
Although Lucian is already protected right now, but he just used the pass.
And then we see a standard Bannerman turn 4 play, which is a Bannerman hitting the Bannerman off.
Grasp. Oh, what?
And here comes the vengeance onto the Lucian.
I guess he didn't want to deal with the fuss and muss of I grasp you and then I Ranger's Resolve.
Ranger's Resolve is an issue, and he actually has 2 copies of Ranger's Resolve.
Yeah. He's like, so he just decided, okay, I'm just gonna hard remove it, super hard. Although it's possible that he doesn't have a grasp of the Undying, like we have been saying all this because of, but there's a higher chance that he doesn't have grasp, I think, than actually just not wanting to deal with it.
Yeah, and here comes the trash, and I believe that the grasp might be in his hand, but he might be playing around Ranger's Resolve because it's just a 1 mana card that can off everything else. He has a really, really high value over there if he pulls off the Ranger's Resolve.
So coming into turn 6, would you play the second Great Horn?
I mean, I would definitely go for the open attack right here because you never know what's gonna come up.
Yeah, but do you go for the greed and then drop your Ranger, your Great Horn first and then attack for 10, apply more pressure?
Yeah, but that's greedy, right? But think about it, like you have Wheel of Ionia open for your opponent. Right, so wasting 5 mana on the Great Horn might not be wise because Ionia, you just tapped out after that from there.
That's fair. Let's see.
So
he doesn't actually have much of a rest. Yeah, he went for the greed play.
Yeah, he went for the Great Horn play, and alternatively, if you want to test the water a little, he could actually go for the Fleet Tracker and then into the Great Horn.
And then play the Great Horn, right?
Yeah, but he went with this play, and then let's see what opponent has to respond. So here's the thing about this game is that it goes both ways, right? It's either you play reactively or you play proactively, right? So it's either you attack or you go for the let's see what the opponent's gonna do, and I'm gonna react to it.
Actually, even say for example he will of Ionia the Great Horn away, right? It's still not too bad because now his opponent is pretty much stepped out, and you still have a Great Horn on the field.
Yep, that's for sure, right? So here comes the 10 damage pushing in. We probably would see a block over here, I guess.
Charm block? No? Oh, no charm block. Like I guess the what's it? The Shadow Assassin was charm block, but
Yeah, but at this point of time, if you could see that Thresh is actually building up his death count as well.
yeah, he's at 2 or 3.
He's currently at 2, if I'm not wrong.
2 should be 2.
No, 3. 2.
Wait,
Correct. 2.
2.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, did the Helpless Aristocrat die before or after Thresh came down?
After.
So he should be at 3, right? Cause I remember something died on. Okay, never mind. You know what? you know what? Thresh will evolve when he evolves.
So here, swinging with the Citra. Okay, so he's going for a full trade of the board, taking 5 damage to the face. And that actually makes him in a very unfavorable position right now. Because KhaiusE actually has a Relentless Pursuit in hand.
Yep. And if his only out would probably be Rekindler. Oh, what the?
Yeah, he got a Rekindler off the top.
Good players versus us peasants, huh?
So here's the question, right? Does he go for the Fleet Tracker and then Bannerman, or he could go for the Bannerman and then subsequently with the Relentless Pursuit, attacking twice, forcing him into an empty board and then open attack with a...
I would say go for the Relentless Pursuit and Bannerman first. Or rather Bannerman vice versa lah.
Mm-hmm.
Although Bannerman can be dragged out though, so do you Relentless Pursuit first?
Alright, so it actually can go for the save the Relentless Pursuit.
Yeah.
For the next turn, where he could attack, but however he will not get the scout.
I guess he can also like just kill off with single combat right now.
Yeah, that could be a way to
kill it off. Then after the attack with the Great Horn, like you, Bannerman. Oh wow, that was unfortunate.
Miss.
That was unfortunate.
So he probably only has MF, right? Available in...
Yeah, it's MF. It's definitely gonna be MF.
Yeah, so we know that he's gonna draw MF next. Would it change anything? Would it make a difference?
If anything, it may be more favorable for him. Because MF has that poke damage, right? And he can attack theoretically up to 3 times next turn. So that is already 3 damage to face.
Right, you're right.
And if he has any more leakages, right, he will just BoonnooB will just lose.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs like Grasp of the Undying or Withering Will to actually save him.
Right, so here we see a single combat into the trash.
Although the Bannerman miss was huge though, like it's huge information for BoonnooB. It's also information for KhaiusE, but it works both ways.
Yeah, exactly, right. And he knows that the next card is a MF, is probably not a removal or anything that is responsive.
And is he going to save the MF for the bait of Grasp or something,
Mm-hmm. So here comes the Tawny Toad, right? Tawny Toad saved the day.
For now. But BoonnooB is right now the game is in a very precarious situation where it can go either way.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing: Boon actually needs to close the Boon objective is to run KhaiusE out of option, and right now as you can see, KhaiusE is actually in very very limited option right now. All he has is a Relentless Pursuit. It doesn't matter what card it is; it's only 1 card in hand. And Boon actually has 6 cards in hand right now. He has the card advantage. He has, so much advantage for this
going
matchup.
for the all in right now. I feel like it's not gonna pay off because I would assume that there is a Grasp of the Undying somewhere inside there where he will take away the scout. The Great Horn.
Right.
Oh, no, I guess
Here
not.
comes a reaction of 2 spell and deny.
Deny and Valve Feast.
Into Valve Feast. So this actually kills off the Great Horn.
and it stops the aggro. It stops the aggro dead in his tracks.
Right, and he heals back too. Right, but it's sad to see a Graph's these get tossed away like that, and he's down to 4 health.
But you see, this is the problem with the Marcia. How are you gonna win now?
Right, all Boon need is just chump blockers, off like small little spiders, Tawny Toad, and and Karma right here. I think KhaiusE, the game has actually changed, and KhaiusE is actually in a tough spot right now with the Karma leveling up over here.
He went all in and I can respect that, but that all in did not pay off. Although there is a chance that I want to say there is a chance, and I want to believe that Karma has no responses, but it's very unlikely over here.
Yeah, like second MF coming down, dropping down to second MF with Karma with 13 mana up. That is really, really dangerous. With 13 mana, Karma can do wonders.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, cause the Karma hasn't died yet.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
and here comes the Thresh. Thresh is really, really defensive for Boon right now because Thresh can just trade with everything.
Yeah, and everything will die. And MF also can't do enough chip damage in order to get in. It's close, but it's not enough.
Right. So right now, KhaiusE is actually out of options, out of win con. At this point of time, I don't think the Bannerman actually have an out to turn the game around. Unless
by
a
some
miracle.
miracle, he attacks 3 times and then ends off with the what? Make it rain.
Yeah, but here comes the box, and there goes the MF.
And that is the final nail in the coffin, man.
Exactly, and we see the surrender from KhaiusE, and that's 1-0 to Boon.
I mean, KhaiusE started off really strong, but then it petered out, and the turning point was when the Great Horde. That was his last turn that he can turn things around. That's why he went for the all in.
Yep, and as we can see, the win con for the Lux Karma is actually run you out of win con, as that actually demonstrated really, really well. It doesn't matter how I play, I just need to run you out of win con and survive, and I'll have the upper hand from there.
But honestly, I think that if any other deck, right, that wasn't the Marcia, they would have a pretty good chance of winning against Spooky Karma, I feel. Because the Marcia, what Spooky Karma does best is that it controls the board really well, and that is the Marcia's win con.
Mm-hmm.
But other regions actually have other ways to win.
Well, you have a point, but then here comes the game 2 with KhaiusE against Boon with the Lucian MF Bannerman against
the Lux Vi. Interesting deck choice.
Yeah, exactly right. But here's the thing, right? If KhaiusE actually has the advantage to push in more damage in the first 2 turns, that could actually have a lot of pressure on Boon.
Oh, unlicensed innovation.
And here comes the turn 3 unlicensed innovation coming with a 5/5, and he actually casted a 6-cost spell right now.
And so he's all tapped out. But it also activates all his Mage Seekers.
Yeah, all the Mage Seekers has been activated, and when Mage Seekers are activated, they're actually kind of deadly.
Yep. The Persuader, especially Persuader. Inciter is it's a big body lah. But the Persuader is the thing that is the scariest for him.
Yeah, and Challenger unit, right? You don't want value unit to actually die. So value unit like MF or Lucian, you don't want them to actually be traded off just like that.
Yeah.
So a Bright Steel Protector over here actually changed things for the MF.
He's not dead in the water yet. There's still a very high chance of him like still controlling the board very heavily.
Right. And probably this is the best hook.
Single combat here? Would you single combat here though? Or would you just let it trade? And then you single combat the unlike.
Opponent has a single combat as well.
That's true.
So if you want to have to go for a single combat on the MF for the 5-2 is actually safer than trading
true.
off the protector, because a single combat here actually doesn't make a difference right now.
And he's still ahead. He's still ahead in bot in this particular scenario.
Yep. And right now, he has an MF open in bot. Is if you go for an open attack right here, is basically 4 damage to face.
But would you want to greed and drop the Great Horn though?
Well, it all depends, right? And opponent actually is from PNZ. Is he running removals?
Not that much. Only Mystic Shot and single combat.
Right. And yeah. So here comes a 5/5 Radiant Guardian.
And there is if single combat is gonna come out, now is the time. Because it's the most value you get from this particular Radiant Guardian.
Right, a single combat off the MF and trading with the Great Horn.
Yeah. And then he gets to reset the board.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but no, there's no single combat.
So it looks like he does not have it.
So judging from this, we can probably tell that BoonnooB doesn't have single combat. There is no reason as to why he would not run a single combat, right?
Exactly.
Like in this particular scenario.
Yep. So it shows that he does not have single combat right now, and bringing him down to 9, and Boon actually is in a tough spot.
Ooh, that's a juicy combo right there.
Yeah, you have the Lucian, you have the Senna, you have the Power Couple. Will he actually go for this play this turn?
Okay, this turn is a bit tricky though. Do you want to go for wide board or deep board? If you want to go deep, you play Citria the Bolt. If you want to go wide, you can play Lucian and Grizzled, or you can play Lucian Bannerman, Senna Lucian, these kind of things.
But here's the thing, right? Does 4 damage actually makes a difference to KhaiusE right now?
Nah,
is there even a need to block the Lux at this point of time?
No.
So it's either he chose for the scout route to flip the MF ASAP, or alternatively, going for the Power Couple would make a difference. So he actually chose to go for the Citra route, but I personally would go for the
wide route, right?
Yeah, the wide route and going for the Power Couple, because we know that for sure he might not have the single combat.
Okay, but now he can go wide. Say even worst case scenario, right? MF dies, he can still buff the board by a lot. And he still have protection by Ranger's Resolve.
Yep. So actually right now, if he he's safe to play whatever he wants at this point of time. And seeing that opponent does not run things like Thermogenic Beam, and whatnot, but however, Unyielding Spirit is open right now, and he does not have an answer for Unyielding Spirit.
Oh, but he went Progress Day. That's just game.
Yeah. So Progress Day over here actually might show signs of weakness.
Oh wait, but Lux has.
So the Lux flips and he has the final spark, and he's probably going for the MF for sure. And the Ranger's Resolve is not gonna cut it at this point of time.
It's not good enough. But after that, he's all tapped out. What's he gonna do? Just drop the Lucian, attack with the Scout first, or Senna works too actually.
Actually, the safest way to do is actually attack with the Scout.
Attack with the Scout and then see what happens, and then attack with everything.
Yep. I mean, there's no wrong in dropping the Senna right here, but here comes a discounted.
I did not account for that.
Here comes a discounted Persuader, and that actually changed the way it plays, right? So actually going on with the Scout attack right there actually might guarantee 3 damage to the Nexus, and now it actually changes things without.
Okay, but he would still be put really, really low. So I would still go with the Scout first. And then followed by an all-in
full
attack.
swing, right?
Yeah. He would still put him in a really bad position.
So here goes the Lux and the Persuader.
You want to tough it out? Yeah.
Yeah. Toughening it, he still maintained 3 creatures on board. 5 damage to the Nexus. It seems like Boon don't really have an option out right now.
Is there any way that he can totally board wipe this? Not really, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? He does not play any bot wipe removal, and his
Not even like judgment.
His only advantage right now is using the Persuader to hook the right thing. But if he actually goes for the Bright Steel Protector on the Citra, he could push for Little the next turn. Alternatively, he could go for the Lucian, forcing the Persuader to actually
Make a choice.
But it's likely to be Citra at that point of time.
I would say the Bright Steel Protector is the better play here. You protect your Cetria first, and then after that, like you make your opponent go into hopelessness.
Yeah, I mean that's one, and Senna is definitely the target over here right now.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So it's either you sacrifice the Senna or you sacrifice the Citra at this point of time. So it depends on what card you should put at this point of time. And here comes the Remembrance. Top draw here will be a Radiant Guardian, and nope, it is a Lancer. So here with such a white board right now, I don't think Boon has anything to deal with this. His only removals are like Single Combat and Concerted Strike, and this should be game with the Relentless Pursuit.
Yeah.
And the game is over.
There's no lifesteal at all, right? Yeah, there isn't.
Yeah, he does not have any lifesteal. He does not have any removal. So so there goes another game to KhaiusE, and we are down to 1-1 in this top 16 round. I feel like Luxvi is actually really, really strong if he curve out really, really well, and he actually went for the progress. They actually show signs of weakness that his hand is dead.
His hand was pretty bad.
Yeah, right. So at this point of time, Unyielding Spirit was the top draw over there, protecting the Lux, and then he could roll with the Final Sparks from then on.
But actually, how would you curve out though? There's only 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Two kinds of 4s and 1 kind of 5. And I guess Remembrance and Unlicensed Innovations. But they wouldn't really curve out. It's more like sporadic bursts of big minions. I feel.
Yeah, I guess so. But with the Bannerman, it's actually wider, so it kind of a disadvantage for the deck.
Yeah, like the Bannerman is honestly favored against most POZ decks. I feel.
Yeah.
Like the control kinds of POZ, because they can't really clear white. Especially if you are at 3 HP or above.
Yep, and then coming down to game 3 with KhaiusE against Boon right now, we have Vimer High.
And
Heimer Vi and Lux Vi. So here, KhaiusE is actually lucky enough to get the Flash and Heimerdinger together on the same hand.
And it's almost guaranteed a two Mark 3s on turn 5. Almost lah.
But here's the thing, right? If he actually pulls off a 6-cost spell on turn 3, a Mage Seeker Persuader would be a huge problem for Heimerdinger over here.
Oh no, it's unlicensed innovator again.
So here
gotta stop doing illegal stuff. Would you trade the Solitary Monk here? No, right? Because you can still be close in terms of HP.
Exactly.
And the Solitary Monk would actually have the advantage because she can choose when to block you, not the other way around.
Yep. But I'm guessing like he's really thinking very hard right now. Is the 5 damage actually worth it? But here he could trade off the Licensed Innovation.
But what you gonna do?
Shot in hand.
But what you gonna do next turn though? Like.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? On turn 4, he don't have a play, right? And he definitely need to bang in 3 mana. So it's either.
Oh yeah, I guess if there's no play on turn 4, then he just ping the.
And then now he could play like a very defensive turn 4. And if a Persuader actually comes down, You know, a Get Excited might even do the job as well.
Grizzled Scout. Oh, this is gonna be so much damage. Ooh.
No, he definitely have to take the 3 damage over here, dropping
Yep.
down the Heimer dinger into
Heimer.
Right. Heimer
Then he
flash.
has Flash of Brilliance here, right?
Yep, definitely. And then he has a free Mark 3 over here.
I guess you shoot one of the Rangers. Yeah,
You
just
have
shoot
to,
one
right?
of the Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like Chad actually makes a point right here is that Unyielding Spirit is such a bad card against the Heimerdinger deck because he actually has like Wheel of Ionia to remove them.
Yeah, that is true. But I still feel that Unyielding is kind of unfair.
It is unfair, but look, speaking of Wheel, here comes the Wheel. And he actually has a Deep Meditation open for 3, and if he gets a flash off the Deep Meditation, I wonder how many Mark 3 does he has.
That's already 2 Mark 3s, and then if someone tries to single combat his Heimer, he can just Twin Disciplines it.
Yep. You know, here comes the flash. And you know, at the same time, he is leaving 4 mana up right now. You know, he could, bluff a deny. You know, he has a Wheel in hand. This actually changes game for Boon and how actually Boon thinks at this point of time.
Yeah, the single combat comes down, and I would say flash into Twin
Discipline, right?
Even say somehow by some miracle, Heimer dies, right? He's still a board full of elusives.
And you know, Weimer actually has done his job at this point of time, and I think Vi at this point of time is at probably at 10 right now.
Probably about 7 to 8.
Yeah, like with the 2 elusive, if the 2 Mark 3 down on board, I think Vi is probably at 10.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Right, here we have 3 turrets. There's 2 flash.
That's 12
There's
damage.
a Deep Meditation and 2 more. That's 8, right? So yeah, Vi is probably at 10 after all the turrets drop.
And this is gonna be a huge burst turn for KhaiusE actually, cause he should at least get 12 damage.
Minimally, yes, at least 12 damage, unless you know a 5 mana up. He has like single combat here, Concerted Strike. These are actually ways to remove the turrets at this point of time.
But if he removes the turrets, he can't remove Heimer.
The Heimer, right? So here comes a Mystic Shot. Double Mystic Shot into the Heimer.
Oh, he really wants it dead.
He really wants it dead, and he's definitely taking in 12 damage this turn. And you know, it's pressure on Boon. You know, can he even keep up with the amount of damage and the amount of turrets right now on board?
Yeah, and he has 3 damage in his hand from the Get Excited. So Boon is actually really in a really bad spot right now.
Exactly, and then here comes another Deep Meditation. And it feels like Boon is in a very tough spot based on what KhaiusE has in hand.
Would you Deep Meditation first to see what you get? I would actually.
I mean, the Vi is so juicy over here, right?
Vi is at 10 though.
Yeah, so you know, any block, Vi is gonna flip.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you know, with the Vi, that actually forces Boon to not able to move. And this is probably it for Boon
and
right
you just have to attack there. If any one of them gets targeted, just buff with Twin Disciplines.
Yeah,
or
you have
just
Twin
let
Discipline,
it through.
you have Get Excited, you know, with this Purify, it's not gonna make a difference.
Second Purify? Twin Concerted Strike or single combats?
Yep, single combat here, Concerted Strike there.
Wait,
That actually brings Boon down to 5.
Oh wait.
And then with a Twin Discipline to Get Excited would give him the game now. Like right here, he could close the game.
Oh wait, no, actually, there's a safe way to do this. He will Will of Ionia the bear, Twin Discipline. Then he can just let it pass.
You know, alternatively, he could kill the bear.
would Will of Ionia it because get excited is precious damage that is gonna push him over the edge.
Yeah, so probably Will of Ionia here is
So
probably
Will
the
of
right call.
Ionia, Will of Ionia first, and then oh no, KhaiusE no.
Okay, it seems like he's gonna fizzle both combat spells, right, at this point of time.
Okay,
So
okay, yeah.
if both
Not-
combat spells are fizzled, you know, he still get the win.
I guess that it wasn't a wrong way to do it, but not the way I would have done it, lah.
Yeah, I mean there's 1,001 ways to do it at this point of time. And that's it. We have the game for KhaiusE with 2-1 victory against Boon. Congratulations to KhaiusE making it into the top 8.